Alright tubes, we've been doing a lot of work here and I haven't been filming any videos, so let me do an update right now. Pretty much under the car, we're finished everything. The oil pan is tapped and we've got our fitting in there, so that's going to be for our oil drain. We put everything, all our lines and boots and everything we took out of the way, that's all back in place. And then over here, it's going to be very difficult to see, but I've just run our oil line. So if you look up in there, I don't know if it's going to focus too well. There it goes. You can see that I've run the turbo, the oil feed line. That's that braided piece up there, and so that's running. If you look right behind the starter, you can just see where the flare fitting screws on right there. Right between where that copper braid is and the bracket for the starter, that's where it's plugged in. And of course, over there is where we put the T in. So I just got done running that, just tightened that up. It's pretty hard to get it in there, but it's in there now. And just a tip, make sure you disconnect the battery, because you are dealing with conductors right next to the starter, and if you short them out, it will make sparks. You don't want that. So now I've got that run. It's nice and low. It's not going to hit the starter. So that's good. That's all taken care of. I think we're all done under the car. So then if we look up here, you can see our oil line comes right up around here, and it's just sitting here waiting to be hooked up to this here turbo, which we have also installed. Turbo took us a little while. We had to reclock it a little bit, which was expected, of course, and get everything lined up. But now I got everything the way I want it. The oil feed is on the top, the drain's on the bottom, and the outlet of the compressor is facing straight up, and that's exactly how I wanted it. So the only thing I have to do with that is we had to cut the signal line when I was moving the wastegate actuator, and it's a shame because it actually lined up in the end. It ended up being the right length in the end, but it's a better idea to take your signal, your wastegate signal, off of a source close to the throttle body. Although in this particular case, since we're not running an intercooler, it's probably not actually going to be that much pressure drop. But either way, since I've already cut that, that'll just give me an excuse to run the vacuum line all the way over there. No, not a big deal. Alrighty, just got done routing the oil drain. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but of course it plugs into our hose barb up there, and it goes up behind here. And one of the things you have to watch out for is if you have power steering, or even if you don't, you're still going to have the steering line coming down to the rack. And so I'm not even going to bother trying to show you, but you just have to watch where you route the oil return, because otherwise it'll rub on that, and then that will be bad. But I have it to where it's not going to rub. I'm going to hose clamp it or zip tie it before I lower this down, but as long as it stays where it's at, it's not going to rub on anything. And then we'll come over here, and this you should be able to see. I'll turn my light on. You can see the drain coming out of the turbo, and of course that goes down to the oil pan. So that's going to be it for under the car now. Other than the shield that goes on the bottom here, which I'm going to leave off for now in case we have any leaks or anything, but we're actually done totally under the car now, which is a very good thing. Oh, actually, you know, the only other thing we got to do is run the exhaust, but that's just details. Alrighty now, so at this point our connection to the turbo for the oil feed has been made, and I just put oil in this thing because if I didn't mention, I drained the oil out after I tapped it and ran some mineral spirits through, just to get everything out, and then I'll change it shortly. So the only thing else that I have to do here is prime the turbo up with oil, and then I think I'm going to try it. Obviously I don't have any of the lines hooked up yet, but I think I'm going to try it out and see, just make sure it gets oil and make sure it spins. Alright, so I just got done priming the oil into the turbo. Cranked it a lot until I had oil pressure, and then cranked it some more. It took some breaks in between so I didn't melt the starter. So I just put the fuel pump relay back in. So now I'm going to start it and then real quick jump out and look for anything that doesn't look right, like extreme smoke or fluid shooting out or fire or anything else like that. So let's hope for the best here. tubes. It's pretty cold and dark here, so we're going to make this short. But as you can see, I've completed the piping here. Got all the piping hooked up, so we're coming out from the turbo here. We got our blow-off valve right here. That's not hooked up yet, but that will get finished. And then our pipe runs over here, goes into an elbow here, and then hooks up to our throttle body. We're pretty much ready to test and tune now at this point. Oh, and the other thing, I got to hook a vacuum line up to it, but this is something that I was telling you about in the one video. I think it was part 2. This is the O2 signal modifier. What it is it's a pressure switch, and when it senses boost of any kind, what it'll do is it will cut off the signal from the O2 sensor to the ECU and force the car to go into open loop, which is very important when you are crossing into boost. Otherwise, you can get some stumbling, or perhaps that might be all that'll happen, or it could end up running lean. But in any case, it's getting cold out here, so I'm going to go inside. But stay tuned here. I'll probably give Road King a call. I know he said he wanted to take this thing for a ride once I got it all set up. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.